In the pregame show, there sure has been a lot of hand-wringing going on given the fact that Portland accomplished its goal of splitting the first two.
Yeah, the Suns are 32-9 on their home court, and you can see right there's round one, game two, and it was such a devastating loss for the Blazers as far as 29 points go. Everybody on the Phoenix side said the rest of this series will be easy. It's the Blazers immediately have to get that thought out of the Phoenix mind, and they can only do that with good, hard, physical basketball, and that will make the crowd really into it.
You saw the officiating crew tonight: Joe DeRosa, Pat Frayer, Bill Kennedy. Game 3 is underway from Portland. The opening tip, Marcus Camby wins it back to Andre Miller.
And once again, Grant Hill will be on him. And you would expect that after game 2.
Obviously, try to get Rudy Fernandez involved early. Rudy to Nick Batum, offensive foul. Rudy a little out of control, ran down Amari Stoudemire. Portland turns it over on the first possession.
Stoudemire, they're not a great shot blocking team, and they're also not a great team to get steals. So they play aggressive defense the last half of the season. Early in the season, they were giving up 109 a game. They've really improved on that.
Watch Nicholas Batum early, battling the bad shoulder. Phoenix likes to bring hard picks for Nash. Here comes one now. Nash doesn't use it. Collins goes away. Amari squares up on Camby. Amari Stoudemire, the outside jumper, and the rebound to Camby. And Phoenix's game plan in game 2 was to double Andre Miller on the ball and oftentimes off the ball on inbounds plays to not even let him bring it up the court.
Well, Grant Hill went up after that miss and cut off, but Andre Miller went back and got the basketball. Blazers won't be able to run many fast breaks doing that.
There's a big pick, and Batum normally fights through. That time pulled back a little bit as the pick was set for Nash, and he drops down the game's first field goal.
They may have to switch that early. They usually don't like to switch on pick and rolls early, the Blazers.
Inside, Camby, post to Aldridge, rejected by Amari Stoudemire and saved by Richardson, and now back to Richardson for the open three. Long, and Aldridge the rebound for Portland.
Nate, you can hear him on the sidelines. Go. He wants to run before Phoenix can set up that defense to get on Andre.
And there's the quick double. They go far side. Aldridge against Collins, a much more favorable matchup. Missed the shot. Camby tips it up and in.
Boy, and L.A. is screaming at Eric Lewis. I got hit.
Foul. Aldridge, bucket, and the foul. Stoudemire. Of course, what took Portland out of everything early in game 2 were the 2 quick fouls to LaMarcus Aldridge, put him on the bench and changed that whole game.
Yeah, it really did, because the Blazer rotation on the pick and roll wasn't nearly as good with L.A. out of the game. You can see L.A. moving. His feet were still moving. And Joe DeRosa had a good call underneath.
Misses the free throw, however, and now Portland with it. And so far, Andre Miller able to get the ball and bring it up the floor.
Now you remember, the Blazers are number 30 in the NBA in fast break points, so they don't have to run it up.
Batum, baseline. I guess that shoulder's feeling okay.
It'll feel better with a couple more of those, and he goes right back, and they're going to high pick and roll him immediately with that shoulder.
Richardson, of course, was huge. Now Hill. Backing down on Andre Miller. No help there. It's one-on-one. Now Aldridge comes to help, and Hill puts it in anyway.
Well, he made his first 10 shots in game 2. And that was big for the Blazers, getting behind in that ball game. Grant Hill did a great job on Andre Miller, and he made his first 10 shots.
Rudy. He's got to put some pressure on Nash. Drives to the middle. Miller back to Rudy for the open three. And Hill the rebound. It doesn't matter if they don't go in for Rudy early. He's got to continue. Although now that's 2 fouls. So we're likely going to see Jared Bayless off the bench. Or is it on? No, it's on Rudy. That's his second. with the importance, as you watch the Batum dunk, the importance of getting Rudy involved does, yes, Nate does make a move. He stood for a second and thought about it, and now Bayless will be hustled into the game.
Why he stopped and thought about it, he saw that Rudy was being more active in this first 4 minutes of this game than he was the entire game 2. So with that in mind, he wanted to keep that momentum going, but Bayless has been very successful this year against the Phoenix Suns, especially when Nash is on it.
And Richardson makes a pair, so Phoenix 3 free throw attempts already. Blazers won that battle in game 1. Suns won it in game 2 while the game counted. Of course, that game was over pretty early. As now Bayless will have a chance to run the offense. Batum, the jumper is long. That's one thing that he was having trouble with. Of course, wearing that big brace is the outside shot. I'm sure he'd prefer two-hand dunks. Grant Hill 10 for 11 in game 2. Now Aldridge ends up on Nash out top. There's the jumper over LaMarcus. It's short. Rebound. Camby tipped it. Batum tries to grab, and Stoudemire knocks it out of bounds. Portland ball. Remember, they had a big game in game 2 in second chance points in the paint. That was completely the other way in favor of the Blazers in game 1. Bayless had 18 in game 1. They're going to need offense out of him. With no Brandon Roy, Portland struggles at times to know where to go after offense. Here's Aldridge. Gets the bump from Stoudemire. Stoudemire swings through a little bit and picks up the foul. Well, he is number 4 in the NBA in committing fouls, so it's not anything new. If you can get Stoudemire in foul trouble early, that's a big thing. He's number 4 in free throw attempts, and he also is number 4 in fouls committed. There you see Brandon Roy on the Blazer bench. Will he come back at any point in this series? Offensive foul. Second foul on Aldridge. He'll have to sit down. The blueprint exactly from game 2. Yeah, you just have to watch that. Both players have to watch that. L.A. and Stoudemire on the offensive fouls. Yeah. You know, it wasn't... He was just getting a little space, and I give Stoudemire a lot of credit. He did a nice flop. Yeah, it was Jaron Collins, actually, but yes, Jaron, point well taken. Batum out on Hill now. Bayless playing Nash. Nash to the middle, still with it. Ball knocked free and taken by Howard, who saves to Camby. Blazers can run, but the Suns back defensively. Bayless back to Camby. Wind up jumper, top of the key is down. You notice how they close the middle. They're going to help Nash on Bayless. Bayless has taken advantage of him going to the rim. Now Batum ends up on Collins. Howard on Grant Hill. And Hill banks it in off the glass. So Grant Hill, 10 for 11 in game 2, 2 for 2 to start this game. Doesn't matter who initiates the offense for the Blazers. They both played point guard, Bayless and Miller. So. Far side, Batum an open 3. Long, rebound Nash. Blazers 3 for 9 to start. Phoenix out running. Richardson lays it in. They really take off. Nate's going to need a timeout right here to make sure he keeps this game under control. And the Suns doing what they want early on. An 8-2 run by Phoenix. It hasn't been as free-flowing as their start in game 2, but they'll take it. Suns by 6. Either Fry or anybody else on L.A., he can score. Now they don't have to worry about that. They can bring Channing Frye into the game for offense. Now once again for Phoenix, nice pick by Camby. That's tipped out of bounds by Grant Hill. Once again, as we saw in game 2, all you talk about is offense with Phoenix, but it's their defense that has gotten them out early. Game 2, that was most certainly the case. Yeah, and they gone to the zone immediately. They did that during the regular season and bothered the Blazers. That was tipped by Bayless. Camby reverses it up. No. Howard, no. Blazers can't get a bucket right now. 3 for 11. Stoudemire, Richardson, wide open 3. Off the mark, Suns offensive rebounding, and another area they have dominated, especially in game 2, second chance points.
Yeah.